Clerk, how many speakers registered? 10 registered speakers. Do you have a second? Second by Councilor Gishia. Mr. Clerk, please call the first speaker.
Good evening,
Before you start, Ms. Registered Speaker, we do have 10 in the interest of same time. We normally have 5 minutes, but if everyone all can speak, we're going to keep it under 5 minutes, just for the interest of the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for all the City Council here tonight. My name is Mjon Bop. I have been the resident of City of Lo for over 30 years. When I heard the motions, I got so emotional because we flee from Cambodia here just to find the freedoms and to live in peace. When I heard the motions, it brought back and it woke up all the emotions that I have had and tried to heal, when I moved here. So it caused a lot of emotional. We all here because we wanted to live in peace, to have a fair and a free life, where our country is being oppressed. My father was killed when I was 13, and I have still not overcome that pain in me. So I would like to request all the City Council to shut down these motions and will never be ever brought up again as long as the government in Cambodia is still standing.
Good evening, Mayor Chow and council members. My name is Susie Chun, a resident of South Lowell, and as the City School Committee member, and I am here to represent our community, as you all can see. We are here standing before you as in solidarity in opposing motions 11.9 and 11.10. The proposal that Lowell be a sister city of Phnom Penh and Battambang is not a politically neutral one. It is designed to camouflage and range of human rights abuses, which take place in Cambodia under a veneer normality. Phnom Penh is a city where critics of government have been killed notoriously in broad daylight with complete impunity. Peaceful protesters in Phnom Penh, such as the Friday Women and workers of the Naga World, the casino, have been brutally repressed when they try to put in their case. These crackdowns take place under the direct orders of the Phnom Penh's mayor. The U.S. State Department says in its 2022 report in Cambodia that arbitrary killings, torture, and cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment, including arbitrary detention, remain standard practices of the government. Bong Keng, Bong Kok Lake, Bong Kok Tamok, Kok Pek, Kok Noria, Bong Tapoon, Bong Tarbai, Bong Chak Ai are among one of the precious lakes and wetlands of Phnom Penh that have been built for the property development, leaving thousands of urban poor families landless and homeless. After violent and forced evictions, it is estimated that 1 million people in Phnom Penh face increased flooding risks due to the destruction of wetlands for property development with no environment impact assessments. Meanwhile, in Lowell, as elsewhere in the United States, Cambodians are still being watched by the regime, including myself. Many are afraid to criticize the government, even in private conversations, because they know that their families or business interests in Cambodia are at risk. 20 cities will not contribute to tackling any of the issues which Cambodia faces. It will only create a false international impression of a country which is governed by the rule of law. There are no grounds for friendship between Laos and Cambodian cities which intimidate and repress their citizens. Laos is part of a free and democratic country. We are known to be diverse. We are known to be a gateway city. It should be twinned between cities which share its value of freedom, democracy. We, the community of this city of Laos, urge all of you to oppose motion 11.9 and 11.10.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, members of the City Councils. My name is Mojong. I've been in Laos for more than 40 years now, and also as a person who brought the city together back in 1999. As the first colored person elected to the City Council. I don't forget that. My pledge was that democracy, everyone has a room, has a place in the democracy world. Cambodian performance, I don't want to repeat what Susie and Papa has stated. Cambodian performances in global indexes of corruption, the legal system, and deforestation show no long-term improvement. Its score in the Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index has barely changed in 10 years. The Rule of Law Index from the World Justice Project in 2022 ranked the country 139 out of 140 in the world, worse than even Myanmar after military. The country's natural resources are being stripped to benefit the corrupt elite. The World Resources Institute find that in terms of tropical primary forest lost over 20 years, Cambodia, despite small surface area, ranks among the top 10 in the world. Really, city will not tackle any of these issues. It will only create a false international impression of a country governed by the rule of law. Law is part of a free democracy country. It should be twinned with cities which share its value of freedom and democracy. I myself survived of killing fields. I understand I'm here because I seek for the country that provide me freedom and democracy. That's why I exercise my rights, and I stood here tonight. And I applaud all and thank you to all my brothers and sisters here tonight to show the support. I would thank you, the council, for support not to pass, remove the motion 11.9.10. And thank you. I just want to say, what do you want? What do we want?
Democracy.
What do we want?
Democracy.
We want freedom, justice, democracy to all, not just law. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City Manager, everyone here and at home. My name is Sarah Hong. I live at 22 Cannon Street in District 6 in the Lower Highland. I'm here tonight speaking in opposed to motion 11.9 and 11.10. The reason why I oppose this motion because it is not right the time for one need to have the process to establish the sister city agreement between Laos and Phnom Penh or Patmong in Cambodia. Cambodia is a country that have a political issue among itself. You may already know that Cambodia, we currently have one system rule. We have a government that arrests silent people and dissolve political party who speak up and push for a change in the system. That is not democracy. Besides that, people are being killed for just doing that. It's just not right to have the motion tonight. We live in one of the most powerful countries in the world with freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, assembly, and the right to petition. People in Cambodia do not have that. If it was passed, the motion, you just accepted what happened in Cambodia, it's okay. This information is just not coming from me or the people here to protest against this motion. It's stated by the U.S. State Department, the European Union, the United Nations, who have been condemning the act of the current government lead by Prime Minister Hun Sen, or even from our State Senator Ed Kennedy, Resolution S2326, our State Representative Bernard Howard, H3057, a resolution called for free and fair election in Cambodia. And it was sponsored by Representative Ron Yalit, but did not see any sponsor by Representative Mong yet. As a young Cambodian American, I did not want to say this to our first Cambodian mayor, but I am deeply, deeply disappointed to see our first Cambodian American mayor, will even bring this up by not understanding the problem and seeing a bigger issue, bigger picture that's going on in Cambodia. It does not matter if you are supporting the current political party in Cambodia or the opposition party. It's matter that you understand the importance of the right to speak up and defending ourselves and our country without putting ourselves in harm. All of you voted to condemn the January 6th attack back in 2021 to defend our democracy in this country. And you can do the same by continuing vote no to this motion when it comes up the next time, to condemn the acts of what's going on in Cambodia and show that democracy is the only way that we can make people in the country free and feel safe. Thank you for your time.
Who is it?
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Chow and City Councilors, fellow Llewellyans. My name is Dee Halzak, and I've lived and voted in the Acre neighborhood for over 25 years. I'm speaking tonight in solidarity with my Cambodian friends and neighbors who cherish democracy and to see it in their motherland. While I believe the Sister City program would be a good thing and an important step, since there are so many Cambodian people in the city, I do not think this is the right time for such a program. I won't repeat everybody else's arguments about the government in charge there. But as an American, I believe that any threat to democracy needs to be stood up against. One of the best ways we can stand up against it in other countries is to not pretend to be friends or act as if we're friends with a repressive government. The government there just recently actually locked up another political opponent for 27 years for treason, basically because of speeches he made. This is not somebody we should be looking to be friends with. I would also tell you that we should be very leery of being friends with a country that is friends with China, with whom we have a very adversarial relationship right now. So I respectfully object to motions 11.9 and 11.10 and to the city spending money this way when we have so many more urgent needs. Thank you.
Chair N.
AGM ជាតំណាងរាជចាប់ឆ្នោតហើយជាប្រធានគណៈកម្មការ
នៅរដ្ឋសភាប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដែលត្រូវរបបលោកហ៊ុនសែនដកហូតតាមនឹងចិត្តហើយបច្ចុប្បន្នខ្ញុំរស់នៅទីក្រុងលំវែង
My name is Chai Kieng. I am a member of parliament from Cambodia. I was the chair of the parliamentary commission on human rights in Cambodia. I lost my seat because the Hun Sen government took it away, but now I have the right to be here and to live in Law.
ខ្ញុំជាជនរងគ្រោះដោយសាររបបលោកហ៊ុនសែនខ្ញុំមកទីនេះគឺខ្ញុំមកសម្ដែងមតិក្នុងនាមជាបរិបទខ្មែរដើម្បីប្រឆាំងចំពោះនឹងការគំនិតនៃការកាប់ធ្វើសម្ព័ន្ធភាពក្រុងលង្វែកាប់ធ្វើសម្ព័ន្ធភាពជាមួយនឹងក្រុងបាត់ដំបងឬក្រុងភ្នំពេញ
I am here as a victim of the regime of Hun Sen. I am here to speak against the establishment, the agreement to have Phnom Penh and Battambang as sisters to Law City.
ខ្ញុំបានស្ដាប់វិញខ្ញុំអរគុណដែលក្រុមរក្សាក្រុងលង្វែបានសម្រេចដកចេញនៅបំណងនៃការជួយសម្ព័ន្ធភាពនេះប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំសូមយកឱកាសនេះដើម្បីជម្រាបជូនសមាជិកក្រុមប្រឹក្សាលង្វែនេះឲ្យបានដឹងរឿងរ៉ាវមួយចំនួននៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
I thank the City Council for not taking into consideration for withdrawing the two motions, but I like to continue to speak because I am here.
ខ្ញុំបានដឹងថាក្រុមប្រឹក្សាក្រុងលង្វែរួមទាំងលោកអភិបាលក្រុងសិតតែកើតចេញពីការជាប់ឆ្នោតដោយប្រជាពលរដ្ឋនៅក្រុងលង្វែ
I know that the City Council members, including the mayor, are elected by the residents, by the people of Law.
ហើយបានធ្វើកិច្ចការរបស់ខ្លួនដើម្បីផ្ដល់ផលប្រយោជន៍ដល់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋទីក្រុងលង្វែស្របតាមគោលការណ៍សិទ្ធិមនុស្សនិងគោលការណ៍ប្រជាធិបតេយ្យ
And you are performing your functions according to the rules and democracy.
តែដោយឡែករដ្ឋអំណាចនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាទាំងក្រុងបាត់ដំបងក្រុងភ្នំពេញទូទាំងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាអ្នកទាំងអស់នោះមិនមែនជាអ្នកដែលកើតចេញពីការបោះឆ្នោតដោយប្រជាពលរដ្ឋទេគឺកើតចេញពីការតែងតាំងពីលោកហ៊ុនសែន
And they serve the interests, the orders of Hun Sen.
ពួកគេអត់មានទទួលអំណាចតាមបែបប្រជាធិបតេយ្យតាមការបោះឆ្នោតទេក្នុងករណីនេះប្រសិនបើក្រុងលង្វែទៅធ្វើសម្ព័ន្ធភាពជាមួយនឹងក្រុងនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាណាគឺដូចយើងទម្លាក់ខ្លួនយើងទៅរណបជនផ្ដាច់ការទៅធ្វើអ្វីតាមជនផ្ដាច់ការ
The government, a sub-government in Cambodia, do not work according to the wish of the people. Therefore, if you, the law, council in law, agree to establish sisterhood, sister city with any city in Phnom Penh, in Cambodia, you are then serving by the you work for the regime in Cambodia.
ក្នុងនាមខ្ញុំជាប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរខ្ញុំគួរតែសប្បាយចិត្តពេលឮថាសាលាក្រុងលង្វែមានបំណងធ្វើសម្ព័ន្ធភាពជាមួយនឹងក្រុងនានានៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាប៉ុន្តែពីវិញហេតុអ្វីបានយើងខ្ញុំមិនសប្បាយចិត្តព្រោះដោយសាររបបលោកហ៊ុនសែនបច្ចុប្បន្នមិនមែនជារបបដែលគោរពសិទ្ធិមនុស្សរបបដែលគោរពគោលការណ៍ប្រជាធិបតេយ្យទេគឺជារបបផ្ដាច់ការបំរើឲ្យចិនហើយធ្វើបាបប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្លួនឯងដូច្នេះខ្ញុំសូមអំពាវនាវកុំឲ្យក្រុមសាក្រុងពាក់ព័ន្ធពាក់វិនជាមួយនឹងរដ្ឋអំណាចនៃរបបហ៊ុនសែនទោះបីក្រុងណាក៏ដោយ
I should be happy to hear about this motion to have the city of Law as sister city of Phnom Penh or Battambang. However, I am not happy because the government, the regime in Phnom Penh is a dictatorship. It does not respect rule of law, it does not respect human rights. It respect, and Hun Sen works with China without any consideration to human rights or to democracy at all. So please do not consider putting law as sister city with any city in Cambodia.
បច្ចុប្បន្ននេះ របស់
Mr.
លោកតែ
Speaker,
បានចាត់
I
ទុក
will interrupt Mr.
ចាត់
Council
ទុ
1 minute.
កខ្ញុំជាឧទាហរណ៍ប៉ុន្តែប្រទេសអាមេរិកគេបានគ្រប់គ្រងឲ្យខ្ញុំរស់នៅប្រអសនៅប្រទេសអាមេរិកខ្ញុំអរគុណក្រុមប្រឹក្សាក្រុមទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានសម្រេចដកពាក្យចេញមិនធ្វើសកម្មភាពជាមួយនឹងក្រុមនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
The Cambodian regime considers me as a terrorist, but America accepts me as a free man. So I thank you for not considering this motion.
Good evening, Councilors. Joseph Boyle, 54 Lower Street. I'm also from Solidarity Lowell. I'm not going to read what I prepared tonight. Thank you for the action that you took tonight. It is important. Our first speaker mentioned that the Hun Sen regime is destroying democracy in Cambodia under a veneer of normalcy. Thank you for not helping to maintain that veneer of normalcy. If the city of Lowell had taken official action in recognition with the Hun Sen regime, it would have helped to maintain that image of normalcy on the global stage, but also to their own people, to their supporters, and to the Democratic opposition. They would have been able to say, look, the most important Cambodian American city in America, they're happy to stand with us. You would have been all over Cambodian state media, helping to dishearten the Cambodian opposition. But because of the actions taken by this body tonight, we won't. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Yoon Ji Chen. I'm the Executive Director of Coalition for a Better Acre. I'm here to oppose the motion, as everyone here, because I was actually part of a delegation that went to Cambodia in 2015, along with back then Mayor Elliott and Councillor Mercier. And that was actually when I was very new to Lowell, and I was really excited to actually learn about Cambodia history and the culture, and I really didn't have any understanding about Cambodian politics. And when I was there, I had started to learn about what kind of government Cambodia was, and I had a lot of regret for being there and being part of a delegation that made that established sister city with City of Lowell. And when this motion came out, I had spoken to some of my Khmer friends who were very disappointed with this motion. And earlier today, I called Representative Elliott to ask him about his thoughts because I wasn't sure how I was feeling about this. And Representative Elliott, unfortunately, because of the budget process, he has to be in the city. And he also said, he told me I can share this with you, that he also regrets being part of the delegation that made that established the sister city with Phnom Penh, because he also didn't really understand Cambodian politics. That being said, and a lot of things were spoken by the speakers, and I can't say anything better than many of the speakers. But I also want to just add that we all know that there is some division in the Cambodian community, and please don't let issue like this to further divide Cambodian community. Because your responsibility as city councilors is to make policies and even establish sister city agreements to benefit all of Lowell residents. And this motion is really doing opposite and further dividing the Khmer community. when Sister City was established with Greece, Caramella. It was such a great opportunity for all of the Greek community in the city of Lowell, and I hope that as you think about other partnering with other cities, that the opportunities for as happy occasion for Greek community and not have all of us here and to oppose the motion. So thank you so much.
Hello, Council. Hello, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, members of this community. I want to first thank everyone for coming out tonight to voice their opinion on this motion. And I want to thank the speakers before me and the speakers after me. Everybody here today is to talk about motion 11.9, 11.10, about making a relationship with Battambang and Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So I want to say that I'm opposed to this motion, and I want to thank the councilors for not seconding this to bring it up for a vote. I also want to talk about my family real quick. You look at me, you probably don't see that I'm half Cambodian, but I am half Cambodian. I take very much pride in being half Cambodian. My family, my father, my aunts, my grandparents came to this country from Cambodia to escape the killing fields, to escape the oppressive regime in that country, and they came here to create a better life, and they did do that. They gave me the opportunity to be able to be part of this amazing community, to serve in the military and defend democracy, and that's why I'm here tonight. The corruption in the country of Cambodia is wrong. Since 1998, the Prime Minister Hun Sen has been running that country. He is not democratically elected. He is a dictator. He has killed, he has exiled, and he has jailed his political opponents. Is that someone that we want to build a relationship with in the city? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We saw the community come out multiple times for different types of events. When they brought Hun Manet into the city, the people said no back in 2016. So I don't know how many times people have to voice their opinion on this, but we will continue to come and voice our opinion on this, on what we feel, to oppose dictatorships. So I ask you to oppose this motion. Mr. Mayor, I ask that you withdraw this motion, and I'm disappointed to see that we live in District 6, and our community is full of Khmer people, to see this motion come up on the floor. You should know the significance behind that motion. Say no to dictators. Yeah!
Ron P. Street. Marissa Dubois.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa DuPont. I live at 46 Carlisle Street here in Lowell. Hun Sen is a brutal dictator who is attempting to destroy democracy in Cambodia. Many of Lowell's Cambodian citizens have relatives who still live there, who are trapped and unable to speak freely. This motion only legitimizes that dictatorship. We cannot forge a friendship with any cities in Cambodia while Hun Sen is in power. Solidarity Lowell stands with the CNRP in their fight for democracy in Cambodia. I thank you for voting no on this motion.
Mr. Clerk, any more speaker?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Any other councilor would like to say anything? Councilor Wilson?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too, along with Young Ju Choi and Councilor Rodney Elliott, had the honor to go to Cambodia we paid our own way. I went there to feel what the people that I represented here in the city, what they felt, where did they come from, what did they experience. I wanted to know their history. So I'm not sorry that I went there because I learned a lot. I learned how the atrocities took place. We went to the refugee camps in Thailand. We went to the Angkor Wat. We went to see a beautiful structure, wonder of the world. We went to the killing fields, and we went to this high school that turned into a prison, and it became Tool Sling Prison. And I met two of the survivors there that wrote a book. And one of the main reason that one of those survivors was alive and was able to tell his story, he was not killed because he was a great artist, and they took pleasure out of seeing his talent and taking a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and just sketching a portrait of one of the terrorists, so to speak. And I learned firsthand of the atrocities there. I wouldn't even want to tell you what I've been through learning this, because one of the things that they did to the woman was so atrocious that I think of it every now and then, and it just gives me the chills. But I am very proud, and I will never say that I went there for nothing, because I learned a lot about the people that I represent. When we were asked by the consulate, there are people that live in Lowell that are part of the consulate in Cambodia, and one of them was a speaker here, Bobo Poo. She knows very well that she was there when we went there, representing her cause, and we were asked to go to this prison. There were 13 young women that were incarcerated for a crime that they said was a crime, which was not a crime. They owned land all in a particular village, and they were asked to give it up because another country wanted to buy it, and they refused because they toiled the soil and they worked very hard to make that happen, and they were incarcerated for no crime but for the fact that they wanted to keep that which they owned. And the reason they heard about us being there, and they asked for us, and we had to get permission from the government to go in there and visit them, and I never ever thought that that would happen, but there is a purpose in life by which you're born and which your journey takes you. And by some grace of God, they relented and let us go visit the people, the 13 women there, and we said, tell us what your situation is, and they told us. They said, please help us in everything that you can do back home to get us out of there. I went to Nikki Songus. Rodney went to Elizabeth Warren. They contacted Hillary Clinton, and within 2 weeks they were released. All 13 of those women were released. So our efforts so to say that we went to a country that created a lot of havoc and hardship and murder for people, yes it did, but I guess our purpose indirectly was to free those women through our connections, and we did that. So when this motion came before us, I was very disheartened to see it. I know that people have good intentions. I would not fault you, Mr. Mayor. You had good intentions, but I would have had to, out of respect, not support it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd also just like to express my sadness, I believe, when I read the motion. I don't support a sister-city relationship with Cambodia at this time. I wish that was a possibility. I know there's so many from the city that were born in Cambodia and would like that relationship to exist. But unfortunately, the country is fraught with corruption and human rights violations, and that's not something that we can stand behind as a council. I also believe we need to develop a policy going forward around sister city, the criteria for them, and that there needs to be a democracy in order to pardon the
Any other councillors who would like to speak? Councillor Moore?
Mr. Mayor, my colleague, I know that all of us, at least most of us, in Wood and Hampton, in this room and at home, been through Canal Rouge. We lost loved one. Councilor Gannon lost Canada. You, Mr. Mayor, lost your father and other family members. And so did other people in this room. I appreciated the heartfelt statement that Councilor Young just put forth earlier. And you, Mr. Mayor, for withdrawing the motion. And all my colleagues for not supporting it. I'm very pleased with the statement that Councilor Scott made, that maybe you put in a full motion for this council meeting, that make it a policy for this council to not adopt sister city with country that do not respect human rights. The rule of law and free and fair elections. Simply to say that country that do not respect American value, and I just list them all, that we should not be a sister city with. Speaker spoke of the relationship, the sister city partnership with Greece, with Canada. Those are different countries than one that we have before us tonight. I also appreciate all the speakers, all the people that are here, and those at home. You know, I really almost in tears myself when Bob spoke. Share that feeling, and most of the people in this room too. It's been 40-something years. That doesn't go away. That does not go away. Someday we will have sister city with Cambodia. When Cambodia have a leader that do respect human rights. Free and fair election and rule of law. Right now, we do not do that. Cambodia is not. This is not just this. The Cambodian Americans speaking. This is the State Department, the U.S. Embassy in Cambodia, Ambassador Patrick Murphy himself, and others. You know, it's just sad that that the country keep on going down. But at this point, I'm very happy that you, Mr. Mayor, and and my colleague withdraw this motion, will not support this motion to go forward, but it's not going forward. Anyhow, I appreciate all of you coming here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Chow. We've heard a lot about the word democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation. I want to thank everybody who called, sent emails. I learned a lot over the last few days, over the last week. One phone call came from a person who was a Vietnam veteran, and they were representing the coalition of allied Afghan and Vietnam veterans. And he basically said much of what the speakers had said. And what I said to him is sister cities are supposed to be about celebration. Between communities come together to celebrate back and forth. But as this went on and we saw there's opposition, I think that any sister city, as the previous speaker said, we should have rules. If there's opposition, why have the sister city? And it makes a lot of sense. I just want to thank everybody who took the time out of their day to come here, because it had to mean a lot. It's Tuesday, it's wet out, it's cold. People have been here since 5 o'clock in a hallway at City Hall. and they've called us. And when you look at the petition that was put forward, there's well over 150 people on there. So it means a lot to a lot of people, and I think that I thank the council for not supporting it, but I don't know that we would know any better unless it was put forward. I learned a lot by this process, and I thank everyone for giving the calls out. I learned a lot about Cambodia. Whether it's true or not, I don't have that background, but people are still heartfelt about things that have gone on over there, and I think it's our duty to support the government we have here, and that's a government that suggests democracy. So I thank all of the council and the people who are here tonight.
Thank you. On face value, anytime a sister city agreement has been brought about or even discussed, the people that are of that heritage are proud. They're thrilled to acknowledge their homeland. Immediately became clear that's not the case here. And it's very unfortunate to see proud Cambodian Americans voice opposition to acknowledging and establishing a partnership with their homeland. That in itself speaks volumes. And I think I agree with my colleague. I think moving forward, we really need to design a policy and vet these considerations because it's not fair. It's not fair for the residents of the city and the residents of the United States that have those old families. I would just like to thank all the speakers. I would like to thank everybody that kind of informed all 11 of us up here as to what this truly meant in their hearts and why at this point in time they can't go back home and extend that hand. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to take a quick moment just to say thank you to everyone who reached out about this issue. Really from the moment the agenda was public on Friday, we all started hearing from people. And unlike any other motion that I've seen, every comment was unanimous in the same opinion. So I think it was very clear what the community wanted and needed us to do tonight. And so I'm glad that we as a body were able to respect those wishes and, not move forward with this. We've had a lot of discussion from my colleagues about developing rules and policies around sister cities. I think that's a great idea. I'm in support of that. And in fact, I'm willing to make the motion right now on the floor to request the Rules Subcommittee meet and begin discussions of policies around the sister city relationships going forward.
Motion by Councilor West, second by Councilor Fisher. Any other councilors want their comments? There are none. I would like to say myself. First of all, Swakom, the two on Oknea, Savajat Nakan, Olay, Mama, and Swakom, you. I want to thank all of you for being here as we address this important issue on relationship building, making connection with our homeland, and diplomacy. In simplest terms, sister cities mean we are members of a family, like the name says, sister. It's supposed to create and encourage a supportive environment. Like a family, we help each other where and when we can. The sister city in the official capacity is symbolic, ceremonial, and in many cases, very meaningful. When I made the sister city motion, it was intended to be a good for Battambang and Lowell, not for politics or the government. Lowell already has 12 sister cities, including Liberia, Ireland, France, Cameroon, Ukraine, Russia, Kenya, Colombia, to name a few. That excitement of sister city relation building continues to this day as they lay the groundwork for establishing methods for the exchange of tourism, commerce, cultural ties, and most importantly, students and healthcare exchange. And each of these sister city creations, none of us, not one councillor, not one mayor, ever once thought about the political parties of the government or country. In some countries, they even have over 100 political parties. A sister city is created for the people. It's to have the people, and more importantly, to have the poor, disadvantaged, and underprivileged in those cities and villages. This motion was brought to me by other residents in the city, but it's also personal. This is the city where I was born and the land of my parents, grandparents, and ancestors. I imagine that this would be a unique opportunity to have the poor farmers' children to be awarded scholarships to study at our great universities here in Lowell and Massachusetts. If, for example, the Cambodian community would like to sponsor a poor student to study here, and she goes back to become a teacher, a nurse, a public servant, or agriculturalist, her education from here will help her village. She will in turn have changed that world. We talk about changing one life at a time. For a poor village person, they would never have that opportunity without our help. I believe to effect democratic change, we must start from the grassroots. Perhaps we all want to be the change makers. However, we are trying every method to achieve it. After listening and hearing everyone's concern, I understand that there are citizens living low that belong to different political parties in Cambodia. I admit that I did not think about Cambodian political parties or any appearance of political ties when putting these motions forward. I was only thinking of the good things for the people. I know the people here tonight, some have traveled far to speak against it. I also know that there are many people closer to home who support it as well. But regardless of where they come from, as the mayor of this city, I listen to everybody. I listen to you whether you are in the minority group or in the majority group. This is democracy in our city and in America. All people's votes and voices are heard. For me and the councillor sitting here, there's no label of good or bad people. I can assure the residents of Lowell and the people here tonight that I align with the values and goals of the United States as advanced in so many positive ways through the U.S. Embassy in Cambodia. I want to thank all of you for exercising your freedom of expression in a peaceful and respectful way to all the elected officials tonight. As I said before, there are many Cambodians who would like to see a sister city in Phnom Penh and Battambang, and those of you who are here who are against this motion. So, as not to create division in the Cambodian community and among the councillors, I also support the councillors' decision not to second these motions. I also want the public out there who support and help your homeland to know, even though we are not able to establish an official sister city, it should not discourage you from continuing to help connect and celebrate the hometown you left behind. Your family, ancestors, and people in your hometown will be forever appreciative. Make merits, and you will know peace. On a personal note, Battambang is a very beautiful province. It's known for farming, rice crops, arts, and cultures like singers, dancers, actors, and also for boxing. And most importantly, it's known for having some of the most beautiful people and kind-hearted souls in the world. And also Battambang has many delicious food and fruits. Thank you.
No!
I ask you all to respect the peace of this chamber. And thank you all again for coming here. We now will move on with the agenda.
All right, all set.
Mr. Mayor, while we're under suspension of the rules, can I move